welcome again to Completely Biased, our podcast, on a Monday, dark and stormy night, as opposed to usual. We record this in the middle of the day, but dark and stormy out there in the city of Charlotte on Monday night. We're sitting on our fabled poker table. Just me and Trevor today. No Spencer, no other friends joining us today. We're going to start off the show talking about the World Series a little bit, and then we'll get into some pretty sad news for me, but
Phoenix Suns, baby.
Yeah, it's kind of dumpster fire. We're still getting news as it's going on right now, so I wanted to leave that until the end of the show. But I do want to spend some time talking about the World Series. But first, I'm joined with Trevor. Trevor, how are you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. We've got lots of sports going on. We've got the World Series starting tomorrow night. NBA has been really good to start the season.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah, for sure. Football, Monday Night Football tonight. Carson Wentz. Can't go wrong there. He's a blast to watch.
So it's a dark day in Arizona sports because, the Diamondbacks got swept. The Suns are going through all this turmoil, and then the Arizona Cardinals lost 33-0 to St. Louis Rams.
Los Angeles Rams,
whatever, I don't care. We lost 33-0 to Jared Goff.
And Carson Palmer broke his arm.
And then,
so his career's over.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, but now you guys are going to win like 5 games, not get a top quarterback in the draft, and still be terrible forever. So, just so you know.
My life's really good right now.
But you still have to play San Francisco.
All right, well, getting right into it, this is not an NFL show right now. We'll talk about NFL at some point if you guys want to hear about it. But the World Series is happening tomorrow, Game 1. We've got the Houston Astros gutting it out against the Yankees in Game 7. I was getting kind of nervous there because I'm not really the biggest Yankees fan. But we got the Astros versing both of our nemesis in this playoffs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, knocking both our teams out in rapid succession.
Yeah.
You guys actually at least pulled the game off of them. But
we did. I mean, at least I had to give it to the Cubs. They fought really hard. I mean, in all honesty, I was reading some articles and just about how hard the Cubs played. But, I mean, the Nationals just wiped them out. I mean, they had to give everything they could to beat the Nationals, so the Dodgers just came in and just
the Diamondbacks had no excuses. We just suck.
You guys can't pitch. I don't know what happened.
It disappeared. But those already happened. Let's get on with the World Series. I'm just going to lead with this question. Who's your favorite going into this? I know who I want to cheer for, but I also know who's my favorite.
I know. This is really hard. Now, I feel like my instinct is to say the Houston Astros. Just because I feel like their pitching is better.
I know they struggled a lot with New York, though. A lot more than I thought they would.
They weren't very good for a couple of games there. My other concern, though, is the Dodgers bullpen. Now, I don't know if it was the Cubs just being gassed and
but it happened against the Diamondbacks too.
But the Dodgers bullpen was incredible in the first 2 rounds. They shut Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo out like completely. I don't think they even got a hit off the bullpen until late in Game 5 when it was 11-1
and the
or
Dodgers'
whatever
offense
the score
has been
was.
amazing so far.
Yeah, and their offense, I mean, it's just been next man up. So, like I said, my instinct, I usually try to go pitching beats hitting in the playoffs. And Houston's got Dallas Keuchel, they've got Justin Verlander, they've got Lance McCullers, they've got Brad Peacock, who have all had great years, and Verlander in the case of a great second half since he got to Houston. So I want to say Houston, but the way the Dodgers bullpen is pitching and the way that their 10th, 11th, 12th batters are hitting, it could go either way.
And coming in completely fresh.
Oh, absolutely.
After 2 really quick series, Astros made quick work of the first series, but the second series, like, you went to Game 7, and I want to cheer for the Astros, so I'm going to cheer for the Astros. That's why I want to win it in my heart.
It's also, I mean, with Hurricane Harvey, it's hard not to root for Houston.
But besides that, like, if the Yankees had won this, I don't know who I'd cheer for. I might just skip watching it altogether. Just like, I don't really care.
Clayton Kershaw seems like a nice guy, but it is pretty fun to watch him screw it up every year in the playoffs.
It's just LA. LA they're our division rival.
That's true.
But, people, if you cheer for Arizona sports, you usually don't like teams from LA. But the Dodgers just seems on so much of a roll, and they're coming off super fresh off these last two series.
I mean, they've only one loss, so they've played only 8 games in the first 2 rounds, and the Astros played 7 in the last round alone. So, yeah, I kind of think if I were to predict who's going to win, I would predict the Dodgers. Even though my instincts say the Astros, just the way the Dodgers are playing, it is really about if you can get hot into the playoffs or into the World Series, I should say. So I'd probably pick the Dodgers, given that Kershaw could screw up, so it could go either way.
So it's funny. You said the bullpen was really, really good, but it's like against the Diamondbacks, we're really, really good because Kershaw gave up 4 home runs against us in the first game. And we still lost that game.
We got to Kershaw in the first game, too. And then their bullpen came in and just shut us down.
And then their offense is, Justin Turner's been really, really good.
Justin Turner's unbelievable.
Yasiel Puig has just had a resurgence somehow. Like, he just came out of nowhere. And I was just like, yeah, remember that? I was a really good baseball player like 2 years ago.
And they're getting Corey Seager back, too.
Yeah.
So
Corey Seager, though, is very, very beatable as a pitcher. Because I can't remember who we had on the mound, but both Corey Seager and I can't remember his name, Bellinger.
Oh yeah,
they both struggled against like good pitching.
Yeah,
it's just young guys. They don't know how to like.
Right.
If you got a guy with a good curveball coming up against them, then like they don't know what to do.
I think he might inspire them coming back in the heart of the order. And I know when they get into Houston, he's going to DH, so they won't need his defense won't be as much of a liability with the injury. So it's kind of hard not to go with the hot hand in the Dodgers. I would love to see Houston win it. And it also depends on if Verlander can keep this up. Verlander has been insane for Houston.
Yeah.
So he's been coming out of the bullpen, shutting people down. Other than I think a couple of runs in the Boston series, he's been almost perfect.
Yeah.
So
and some pretty good storylines heading into this, he said, with Houston. We had Hurricane Harvey earlier this year. Houston hasn't been to a World Series in
2005, so we're looking at 12 years.
So it hasn't been too long. When was the last time they won a World Series? Have they ever won a World Series? Because Trevor's a lot. I know baseball like playing wise, but Trevor's a lot better with the history of the sport. I didn't really watch that much MLB growing up.
I'm sure they have, but I can't think. They had the Nolan Ryan years, but other than that, I can't really think of. Definitely not in recent memory. That's
and for
sure.
The Dodgers side, this is the first time they've been in the playoffs, I think, since somewhere in the 80s, I think? Or in the
World Series, you mean?
Yeah.
Kurt Gibson would be the last one, so yeah 80s.
Yeah. So pretty long droughts for both these teams. Not since they've been in the World Series for Houston, but it'd be really, really cool to see Houston win Arizona kind of spoiled it for New York back in 2001, but it was still cool to see them in the World Series that year, and it'd be really cool to see like the city of Houston get that win, and the NBA, even in the NBA, they're
their NBA team's good.
So far,
yeah,
so.
No, it's good. It's something to root for, and whether you feel like you
or like another good comparison, New Orleans Saints right after Katrina.
Yeah.
It helps like pick the city back up, and sports is a good thing for that. Like you can kind of forget about all the outside stuff and just root for your team.
Absolutely. Red Sox after the Boston Marathon bombing. Yeah. So there's always
it happens. It's happened many times in sports where it's just the teams uplift the cities and communities, and they have something to cheer behind, and don't have to be all doom and gloom. And things are getting better over there, but it was a really bad tragedy for them earlier this year.
Yeah, so I think obviously we're both in agreement that we're rooting for Houston. Who do you think is going to win?
I think the Dodgers. I want Houston to win so badly, but I think if I were betting on this, I'd pick the Dodgers.
Yeah,
just to win it because they're just so fresh. They seem so dominant over the West teams or the NL teams.
This is what I love about baseball, though, is like they're so evenly matched. Like it can really go either way. But do you think? Last year's World Series was pretty even. The year before was really even.
Like what we're saying right now is like we like the Dodgers not because they're better in any way, but because they've been they're just on a roll right now.
Exactly, and that's a huge thing in baseball. That's why
who
they play
hot?
162 because a team can get hot like the Dodgers, and if you're only playing 80 games, some really bad team could get hot at the end.
And kind of weird because I was not. And I know a lot of people were like this. People weren't high on the Dodgers going into the playoffs because they had that amazing start to the year. And then, like in baseball, you just have these up and downs.
They lost 19 of 20.
Yeah, and they lost 19 of 20. The Diamondbacks swept them. And then they come out and sweep the Diamondbacks and then regain that like dominant form that they had earlier in the year. And it's just kind of like, okay, now they got their second win now. They're going to carry this on.
Absolutely. In the end, the talent ends up winning out, I feel like. But when you have two teams like this that are so talented, both on the mound and, batting, we haven't even mentioned Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, George Springer for the Astros. They're all phenomenal hitters.
I wish so again, I'm not the biggest baseball, I don't follow the season as closely as Trevor. I do follow the season, I follow my team. But where is Altuve in the MVP race so far?
He's basically got it locked up.
He's got it locked up?
It would be a shock if he didn't win.
Because I was going to say, if he didn't have it locked up, I was going to say they should include playoffs in the MVP voting. Because Altuve, in the first game, he hit 3 home runs, and it's just
he's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get some arguments. There's going to be people that like pitchers.
Another reason kind of why I want Houston to win, because Altuve's much like Steph Curry in the NBA. People can look at Steph Curry and be like, he's not like extremely athletic or extremely tall or anything like that. I can be like Steph Curry or Isaiah Thomas. You can look at those players and be like, that's not so far to reach.
If 5'5" guy can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, and that's like Altuve is like, he's 5'6" or 5'5" or whatever he is. He's really, really small. Like, kids can look up to him as like he can do it. Why can't I do that same thing? And maybe really good for baseball too.
And he's known for working hard. Like, he wasn't like this. He was a prospect, but he wasn't like the greatest second baseman.
I think if you're 5'5" or 5'6", you have to have that kind of work ethic.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really, really good for baseball to have a star like that to inspire the next generation. Because a lot of things the past few years has been, baseball's popularity, like shrinking popularity with the younger generation. But I think if you look at the league right now, we have so many great young stars in the league.
Well, I was just saying about that the other day. I was watching some highlights of I think they were showing some of the Kirk Gibson highlights, and it's just funny when you look at it. Everybody in there is like this man's man with a big mustache and everything like that in the 90s.
It looks so weird.
And now if you look at all the stars, you're looking at Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Jose Altuve. They're all like kids.
They're all in their mid-20s.
Yeah. The oldest one of all of them, I think, is Goldschmidt, 27, 28. Yeah. So, and Mike Trout, I didn't even mention Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, the best player in baseball.
I'm sorry, Mike Trout.
The best player in baseball, and no one knows what he looks like.
I know. It's like...
if you saw him on the street, you're like, that guy.
Man, that guy looks pretty cool. But, all these stars are so young... And they can and with baseball, you can play into your mid-30s and still dominate. David Ortiz was dominating at 41. So, we're looking at some great stars for a long time.
I think we're entering another, I don't want to say it, but another golden age, or at least a very, very exciting age of baseball in the next 10 years. Because, like you said, we have so many great, already young stars,
Mm-hmm.
You look at Mike Trout, who's been in the league for 7 years now.
Yeah.
He's only 24.
He's a little older than that. He's 26.
No, he came to the league when he was in high school. So, 18, he's 25.
That's still crazy, yeah.
He's around 25. He might be 26 or something, but still, 26, and he's got at least 10 more years on.
Easy. 10 years.
I hope sooner rather than later he gets the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been once, I think, in 6 years, and they got swept by Baltimore, I believe.
He deserves to have more recognition. My little joke at the beginning, people probably don't recognize Mike Trout when they're walking inside the street. They'd recognize Bryce Harper, no problem, because he's out in the media so much because the team's really, really good. But Mike Trout walks by, who's the best player in baseball right now, and you're like, oh, that guy, he's just normal.
Yeah, only if Mike Trout could bat in all nine positions for them. Yeah. So, he is the best player in baseball. The craziest thing is he's been top 3 in MVP, and I'm guessing he will be again every year except for his rookie year. He only played 100 games. So
he was still really good, though.
He was still fantastic. But yeah, so